Yo guys, and welcome back to another squad builder on the channel. In today's squad builder we have a Bundesliga starter squad. My other video has just gone live as I'm recording this, so I haven't seen your comments yet on the squad and what you've wondered. So we're just gonna go into this Bundesliga starter squad. Do let me know which one you want next. I will try to look at it after this video has gone live, which will be later today after the La Liga starter squad has been uploaded. But we've got a very nice looking Bundesliga starter squad for you guys today. Bundesliga is looking really OP, so let's get right into this. And of course, we'll be starting off with the goalkeeper. If I'm looking over to the right hand side, I have the squad over there, so I'll be looking on the right hand side quite a bit. Because otherwise I would forget some players and the video would be slowed down a bit. Hope you guys understand. Because I noticed in the last video I was looking to the right hand side a lot whilst talking. In goal though, we're going to start off with Timo Horn, I believe his first name is. Back in the Bundesliga this year. Otherwise you could have actually worked with some German players, which there are some good German centrebacks, but we'll get into that later. There is some options in goal, but he looks nicely well rounded. He's not too high rate, so he'd be pretty cheap. So other options are Baumann, Trapp, maybe Radecki still decent. Jarstein doesn't look too good this year. Casteels could still be good. There's loads of goalkeepers in the Bundesliga this year which are fairly highly rated. The 84, 85s will probably be a bit too expensive to start. Maybe even the 83s will be too expensive. I'm not entirely sure. Outside of that, when you go to the lower rated players, they don't look too great. Ulreich, I think, if you really want to go for a cheap one, is probably the most usable. He shouldn't be more than 1,000 coins early on. But I think Horn or Baumann is going to be your best bet at the start of the game. So I've opted for Horn because he's a bit of a meme from last year, being an 83 from the second Bundesliga. At right back, we have a new player in the league who looks really good. He might be a bit expensive because he's new and because he looks pretty decent. It's Mbabu, the Swiss player that got himself a Tots Moments card last year, playing for young boys in the Swiss league. He's got insane pace, great physicals. Defending could be a bit better, not gonna lie. He's also nice and tall though, at 6 foot. High medium work, which are pretty much ideal for a right back, especially early on. That doesn't really matter if it's high or high medium. And most right backs are high medium anyway. Dribbling is okay, again, not too amazing, but I'm just hoping that pace and physical combination makes him absolute bully in your back line. And there isn't that many options at fullback. Especially right back, you're a bit of a struggle in the Bundesliga. Because there is Klostermann, who could be decent as well. He's way better defending, but way less physical, and also less dribbling actually, and less. How is he higher rated? There's that Costa, who I think will be expensive just because he was probably the best player to use at right back last season, just because of that team in the season card he eventually got. There's Leiner, who looks alright. Good pace, decent defending and physicals, and then decent dribbling and passing, but definitely doesn't look better than Mbabu. Weischer could be decent still, especially if he still has his force and skill moves. He's probably the best player if you want a really good defender or fullback on the ball. So then in that case, you could probably go for him. Moving on to the left back spot though. I just closed that Bundesliga tab, that's a little bit annoying. We're going to go for pretty much you start a Bundesliga left back every single year. It's Wendell. He's got really nice in-game stats. Once again, decent enough stamina, good aggression, which is always quite nice. He's forced his skill moves this year, which is also nice. High medium, good defending. Heading is very low, but outside of that, it's really nice for a lower rated left back. Well-rounded dribbling, all around that mid-70s mark. Good enough passing, especially with that 77 short passing. Vision could be a bit better. And then some good pace. I'm not going to look at cam styles. I want you to look at the cam styles yourself, because that's how you can change your player into a bit more of a player in terms of how you want to use him. If you want more passing, you put something that increases passing. If you want more pace, you put a pace card on him. Or cam style that upgrades pace. And if you want him to just be a defensive brick wall, you just put a sentinel on him. Or something like that. I want to give you the opportunity to make your own decision in that case. Looking at some other left backs though, if you go to the Bundesliga and then go to the left back position. I'm trying to go to it a little bit faster. The last video from La Liga was quite a long video. There is Roussillon and Schultz, who look alright. But they're 82 rated, so I think it will be a bit on the expensive side, like close to maybe even the 10k, maybe even 20k mark. If you're unlucky. Because Bundesliga might be a really popular league, especially for defense. Defense looks so good for a starter Bundesliga side. When we get into the midfield and the attack, you'll see that they're not the greatest league to go with. There's also Hakimi. The reason why I wouldn't use him is because he's a left back now and he has a 2-star weak foot despite being a right-footed player, which on the left-hand side obviously isn't too amazing. Then you have Max. Pretty much just as good as Wendell in my opinion. I just went with Wendell because he's a bit more well-known player. And then you have also got Burnett. I need to sneeze. You've got Burnett. Those low physical and low defensive stats, which they've all gone, to be fair, these fullbacks. But on him especially doesn't look too great. Also the lowest with dribbling is the highest on pace, but also then low passing, which I don't really enjoy in a fullback. So I opted not to go with him. Could also go Gunther if you really want to go cheap, because he's also got decent pace, and then defending and physical is actually quite nice on him, but his dribbling and passing it leaves a lot to be desired. Moving into the centre-backs, we got, first of all, a bit of a well-known one from a few years ago, maybe even last year. It's Abraham. He used to have like a card with 80 pace or something. But this year he's still got decent pace at that 75 mark, and then just well-rounded defending and physicals. If you boost those, you'll be really good, in my opinion. He's also 6'2", which is very nice. Medium is not ideal in my opinion. The ideal work rates are medium-high, but I think that's still decent. 2-star weak foot is a bit of a letdown. Very low ball control and dribbling is also a letdown, but reaction and composure are actually quite high, it looks like, for a lower rated centre back. Short and long passing are good, but in low vision. I think he will be really cheap and really good just because of the height and the pace combination. But there are loads of other options you could have gone for. I just opted for him because I think he will be cheap and still very good. The next one might be a bit more expensive. It's Upamecano. I avoided Konate because I think he will actually, despite only being 79 rated, be pretty expensive because he's getting so much hype. So I avoided him. Meccano 6'1", but he's got 88 jumping, 88 strength, and 81 aggression. Insane physical stats. I don't know how that physical stat ends up being only 80, because he's only got that 60 on stamina to bring it down. Very good stand tackle. Marking definitely needs a boost from a cam style. Good slide tackle and decent interception heading. Dribbling all around that 60s mark. That's not a great. Reaction and composure could be a lot better for a center back. But he's got that great pace and that grows those great physicals. Like, he's got insane physicals, which I think he will be great. And also 80 for stand tackles, really good. Good short passing at 72. He could be better, quite a bit. But there are loads of other options at center back, which I'll show you right now. This is why the Bundesliga is looking like it could be such a popular league, because there's just so many good defenders, especially. Also for later game, you've got Hernandez, Sule, Akanji, Ta, who look good. But for the early game, Vogt, even Nastasic looks alright. Of course, Konate looks good. Brooks could be usable. Stark looks good. Pavard looks alright, especially if you're on the center back that's good on the ball. He could be really good. And Mukiele as well looks really good. And there might even be more players on the next page. I haven't even looked at that, and I won't, because this video will be taking way too much time if we do that. Going back into the squad, we're going to go to CDM. We're actually going to have a CM at CDM, but this card looks insane. One of the only really good looking lower rated cards from the Bundesliga for when it comes to midfielders. It's Dennis Zakaria, the Swissman himself, another Swissman into the team. Once again, someone with very high pace and who's very tall at the same time. 6'3", with 82 pace and 83 strength, 88 aggression. Stamina is 78. It's alright for a starting player. Very nicely well-rounded defending stats. Okay dribbling. Good ball control. Passing is good in the right areas, which is why it's only at 75. Could be a bit higher. And the shooting is a bit of a letdown, but that's why I would put him at CDM. He could make a nice triangle, as you saw right there, with Akanji and Mbabu. Shout out to Yizzy for that comment right there. He would be an 80 rated at CDM as well, so he is a little bit underrated on his card compared to stats, because he's in the wrong position. But you've got loads options for the midfield that are like decent, but not as good as these guys. So next up, Demirbay. Bit of a weird one for me, because he's 82 rated. When you go to that 82 rating, they usually get a bit more expensive when they're usable, and Bundesliga could be a popular league, and he's got some good stats, but then also has only 67 page, which really could drive his price down, because FIFA players just prefer anything that's over 70 pace when it comes to midfielders or centrebacks. Also 64 defending could be a little bit better, but that's actually not too bad if you think about who you're going to be playing next to him as well in a moment. He's more of a creative-minded player. 4-star, really nice. 6 foot, again, pretty tall. Medium, if you can play him at that center mid role, is actually quite nice. Very good dribbling stats, especially great composure. Stamina, again, 77. It's not bad, it's not great. Passing is really good. It's just crossing that's mainly hurting it, and the rest of it is actually quite high. Shooting is nicely well-rounded, and at that pace, you can boost that with a engine. Engine always is a relatively cheap cam style, so if you put an engine on him, this is just as an example, because I said I want you to use your own cam styles. You would upgrade the stats already good, but you get that pace on him. You could put an anchor or anything on there. You don't even need to boost that pace, in my opinion, because he's playing the midfield with high 60 space, and high 60 space is always quite usable, especially if you have Zakaria next to him and Babu behind him, some fast centrebacks in the middle. You don't need that much pace on him because we've got loads of pacey players in this squad. And then for our last midfielder, this is going to be a bit of an expensive player, I think, but if you do it right on the web app, you should have the coins. He might go up to like a 20k mark, in my opinion, because he looks a lot like a Kondogbia from last year, just with some different abilities, with some different positives compared to the cons that Kondogbia had. He has 4-star weak foot, which is a massive upgrade if you compare him to Kondogbia, but only 3-star skill moves. He's only 6 foot, high work rates are ideal for the kind of player he is. His stamina is very good, his jumping is very good, his aggression is nice, his strength is a little bit low for someone with 82 physical. I was expecting that to be a bit higher, but it's mainly being pushed up by his stamina, jumping, and aggression. His defensive stats are very nicely well-rounded. At a CDM, he would again be insane, but because he's so well-rounded, I've opted to play him in center mid in front of Zakaria. Dribbling, nice and well-rounded. As I said, passing, shooting, and pace, all very, very nice looking. With the right cam style, he could be an absolute machine. He would actually be better at center back according to the in-game ratings, just because of how good his defending stats are. And his other midfielding stats are just decent. But again, with the cam styles, put the right boost on him, he'll be a monster in the midfield, in my opinion. Moving on to the wingers. Starting off with a new player to the Bundesliga. A bit of a low-rated player, but he looks like a good card to use. It's going to be Skoff. I don't know how he's only 75 rated. He was a 75 rated last year, and then get a team in the season. Makes a big move to the Bundesliga from the Danish league, and still only 75 rated. He will, though, only have 3-star, but he's 6 foot, which is very nice for winger, in my opinion, because he will feel a lot stronger. Well-rounded physicals, well-rounded dribbling, but it could be a lot better for a winger. Good enough pace, great shot power and long shots for a starter player. The finishing could be a bit better because you can boost some sets with the cam styles. I've also opted for him because he's got great curve and free kicks. You've really got a nice free kick taker in your team, and it looks like if you can master free kicks in FIFA 20, they could be really, really usable. And a very good way to score goals in the new FIFA. So that's why I also picked him over some other players. I forgot to show you some center mid options, so let's do that first. Completely forgot about that. There isn't many, in my opinion. And Goretzka will be too expensive. Aranguiz might be decent. Campbell just lacks too much in the wrong areas. Tolisso could be decent if he's cheap. He's now a little under 70 pace. His card doesn't look too great, but his in-games are probably still decent. Forsberg looks usable. Sabitzer, you're really gonna have to use him at cam, and he's got like 3-star skill moves. He's lost his pace. He doesn't look as good as he used to, but he will be usable for sure. Outside of that, there's this Boetius card, which looks alright, but not much else. Most of them are really slow or really weak players. Beatencourt is now a cam. He could be alright, but his shooting is a bit low. Bentelab got a big downgrade. Leimer as a CM looks alright. This card. Let's actually take a look at this, because I haven't seen this card yet. I would arguably use this. High pace. in the midfield. Nice and well-rounded. He's a bit of a weaker version of Zakaria, I would say. But definitely would go for some other players. Let's also take a look at the right wingers, because we just put Skov into the team. And look at the other options you've got. I don't know how expensive Bellarabi would be. I would imagine he would be quite expensive because there's many options in the Bundesliga for right wing. And as I said, Bundesliga looks like could be a popular league. Traore is a card I've used a lot in the beginning of FIFA's, but his physical and pace just gets downgraded every single year. And with that 49 physicals, I wouldn't touch him. Stefan looks alright. Oh crap, I actually clicked him. He looks alright. This Babu card could be really decent, but I went for that Skov card because he's got that high shooting. Then there's Lukman as well, who could be decent. I think Lukman is one of the better options as well, especially if he has 4-star skill moves. I haven't checked into that. Herman the German isn't as fast anymore, so he won't be too amazing. Moving on to left wing, this is a very easy choice for me. It's going to be Rashika. Looks like a great card, got a massive shooting upgrade compared to last year, which makes this card all of a sudden look very usable on that left-hand side. He does only have 3-star skill moves, but he has really high pace, really high agility, decent dribbling and ball control. Shooting stats are very nicely well-rounded in the right areas. The passing could be a bit better. I won't lie. Stamina 74, again, could be a bit better. And then the strength could be a bit better as well. But I think fast, agile players are going to be important again this year. High medium work rates are ideal for a winger. 5'10 is pretty good height for a winger. And there isn't many other great players over at that left wing position that you can choose from, which is why I've gone for Rashika. There are some higher rated players ones, like Perisic, Coutinho. Coutinho wouldn't be great in my opinion at the wing because of the low pace. I would prefer him at cam. Coman. Bailey looks alright. Kostic, now that he's a left mid, looks really nice. He would be a good center mid as well. Guerrero doesn't look great. Then you get to Rashika. There's our this Raman card, but 56 physical might be a bit too low. And also low dribbling and shooting. Precalo doesn't look great. Thuram looks like he could be usable. I just prefer that high dribbling that Rashika has. I think that will make him a lot better. Only being 79 rated, I still think he will be cheap because there's so many higher rated, better options for Bundesliga for people that want to build insane teams from the start. So Rashika for me is the player. And moving on to striker, there's only really one choice for me, and that's Mateta, and he doesn't look that insane. As I said, the Bundesliga does look like a good starter squad, but the further you go up the squad, the worse your options get for starter players. If we go take a look at his card, Jean-Philippe Mateta got a bit of a pace boost from last year, being a silver last year at like 72 pace. The reason why I went for him is, first of all, he's 6'4". High-low work rates are perfect. You make very nice runs forward most of the time. 3-star skill moves, but again, I feel like skill moves might be less important this year. 85 strength, very nice. Stamina is a bit on the low side on 65, but for a striker it's alright. He also has an 81 heading, so you can also cross it to him. Dribbling could be a lot better. You definitely need to boost that. That's the one thing I'm going to say that you need to do with your camp styles, boost that dribbling. Passing is woeful, but he's a striker. He should be the one to score the goals. And then he's got really nice positioning and finishing for someone who's only 78 rated. We've seen it on plays like Ben Yedder. He's also got like very high positioning and finishing, and it just makes him OP. Combined with the height, I think he should just be a beast in the game, especially early game when people don't have the greatest of defenses. But if you take a look at the striker options you've gotten in the Bundesliga, there isn't many. Playa got a big pace downgrade to 76. Paulson is an option. I think he'll be expensive because there isn't much other option outside of Werner when it comes to pacey strikers. Volans might be alright. He might do the job. I'm not sure. I believe Rebic has actually moved to AC Milan, which is why I didn't go for him. Otherwise, I would have probably put him in there. Let's actually check the further comments. Yeah, he moved to Milan. So he probably won't even get a Frankfurt card in the game. And outside of that, there isn't many options. Rafael got a big pace downgrade. Doesn't have the greatest shooting anymore. And Bolo pace downgrade. There's Cordoba and Augustin, who could be decent, but they'll probably be worse than that Mateta card. That Mateta card does definitely look better. And then there's this guy who might do the job for you, but once again, Mateta just looks like a better version of them cards. So Mateta, in my opinion, the best option. Looks like he could be a beast, looks like he could be pretty bad. Only player I would change on this team potentially is Skov, because I mainly put him in there because of those free kicks. And if you got some money to spare, you can put a better player over there. And I think Demirbay or something might have decent free kicks. We're going to save this squad as a Bundes starter. I can't type. Team Twister. I said my own name wrong. Twistar. Playable. We'll choose German. And this link to the squad will be in the description if you want to take another look at it. Want to take a look at the players yourselves. And that will be the end of the video. If you did enjoy, drop a like. The more likes you give me, the faster I'll try to bring out these starter squads for you and more interesting squads, some other videos, some how to make coins on the web app guides and all that. Also, do subscribe to not miss out on content. Turn on your notifications so you won't miss another one of these videos. Do check out my Twitch. I will be streaming a lot tomorrow. We'll be building squads that we'll be using in these videos most likely. And maybe some demo gameplay. If you're on PS4, we might do some, what's it called? Share play to play against each other. So make sure you go follow me on Twitch, because I am more of a streamer than a YouTuber, I would say. And I'll be streaming a lot for FIFA 20. Now that I've plugged myself enough, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.